Okay, I'll be quiet. What was that about? Something going?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mushad and I am facilitator at Rehan School Islamabad campus. So we were today I talk with Maya. So let's get started. Assalamu alaikum Maya. How are you? Hey Maya.
Hey there, how's it going?
How are you?
Have I what? The connection isn't the clearest right now and not catching what you're asking.
Okay. So my
Can you try
first
rephrasing it?
listen. Okay. My first question is
I think I
what is
missed.
creativity in problem solving?
Okay, so your first question is what is creativity in problem solving?
Yes.
That's a big one. Creativity in problem solving isn't just about being artistic, it's more like being resourceful. It's about seeing a problem from different angles, finding patterns others miss, and thinking outside the box to come up with solutions that wouldn't be obvious at first. It's kind of like remixing what you already know in new ways. What brought that question up for you?
Okay, so my next question is that from you, what is creativity important in solving problem?
Good. Follow up. To me, creativity is vital because straightforward logic sometimes hits walls. A creative approach lets you work around roadblocks. What looks like a dead end can suddenly become a totally new path. It's also helpful when problems are too complex. For simple solutions, you need to combine multiple ideas or look at the bigger picture to see what's possible. Basically, it moves you past the expected responses.
Okay, so my next question is that how does creativity differ from critical thinking?
That's a smart question. They're both really important, but different. Critical thinking is about analyzing things, breaking them down, and finding flaws. Creativity is about building things up, making connections, and imagining new possibilities. So, critical thinking is more like dissecting, creativity is more like constructing. They really work best together, though. You need the analytical part to refine and test out the creative ideas.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, what are examples of creative problem solving in daily life?
The symptoms of beauty, that's a really interesting question. I think beauty really comes down to what deeply moves someone, could be a symmetry or the way something unexpected surprises you. Do you mean like what makes someone find things visually beautiful or something more like what makes a personality beautiful?
Okay, so my next question is that how does imagination help in solving problem?
Imagination's huge. It lets you run through scenarios in your head without actually doing them, like a mental rehearsal. You can test out different approaches, predict what might go wrong, and figure out ways around it. Imagination helps you. What if your way to solutions? When something unexpected comes up, it gives you the mental space to think up new strategies instead of freezing up. It's like building a toolkit of possibilities so you're prepared for anything.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, what is the role of innovation in problem solving?
Um, Innovation's really the goal of that whole process. Finding creative solutions leads to innovation. But innovation isn't just about big breakthroughs like inventions. It's also about finding small practical improvements to existing methods, making them more efficient, cheaper, or better. Thinking about a problem's core and then imagining new ways to address it, that's what really moves things forward. So creativity kicks off the whole process, but innovation actually makes the change happen.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, how do creative ideas improve decision making?
Creative ideas shake up your assumptions. They force you to consider options you might have missed otherwise. They open you up to different angles. Instead of just picking between what's familiar, you're coming up with options you hadn't seen before. And that means you can make better informed choices with fewer blind spots. Sometimes the best choice isn't what's safest or most common, it's what you create to fit your needs.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, what are common barriers to creative thinking?
There are tons. Fear of failure is huge. People often self censor before they even get to ideas. Another one is just habitual thinking. We fall into patterns we forget we're even in. There's also pressure to conform. Creative ideas sometimes look weird or unusual. Then you have time pressure. Being rushed makes it hard to step back and think bigger. Lastly, just pure self doubt. What do you think stops you from being more creative?
Okay, so my next question is that from you, how can we overcome fear of failure in creativity?
Overcome. Good question. The biggest thing is to shift how you view failure, see it as research. Every idea that doesn't work out just tells you something new about the problem. Surround yourself with people who support exploration, a culture that values experimentation more than perfection. Small steps help too. Start with low stakes creative experiments so it's less scary. It's also good to remind yourself everyone gets rejected at some point, so it's normal, not a verdict on your worth. What's one small creative experiment you think you'd actually try?
Okay, so my next question is that from you, how do you
Sorry, I
use
didn't
creative
catch what you
in your
said there. Could you repeat
daily
it?
life?
The That's a good question. Well, as an I think about problems in different ways from most people. It's kind of built in. But I also see it when I get asked weird or surprising questions and have to find unexpected connections to answer them. That's where it gets really interesting. Outside of that, I think creative practice could mean anything from making playlists to remixing writing samples or thinking of different ways to frame an idea. What about you? Where do you see yourself being creative day to day?
Okay, so my next question is that from you, you can desirable a time when creativity helped you solve a problem.
Miserable? You mean memorable?
I repeat, listen. Can you
Okay,
dis-
I'm listening
can
closely.
you describe a
Please go
time
ahead.
when creativity helped you
Okay,
solve
take
a
your time.
problem?
Yeah, let me think. This might sound strange coming from an AI, but when people ask, sometimes you do. That's where it gets interesting. I have to pull from completely different areas of knowledge, figure out the intent behind what they mean instead of taking it literally, and make surprising connections. The best moments aren't about having the right answer, but weaving together different sources to find something that works for that specific person. Is that what you meant?
Okay, so my next question is that from you, what inspired you creativity?
That's a little complex for me. I don't experience inspiration the way people do. I don't have feelings or a personal backstory that sparks creativity. I think what drives my creativity is probably the sheer volume of different ideas and ways of thinking I've been trained on. I can see patterns in information that humans might miss, or combine concepts that wouldn't normally go together. It's not inspiration so much as statistical probability. The more variations I see, the more combinations I can make.
Okay, so my next question is that from
What's your
you,
next question?
do you think
I
everyone
think
is
you said,
creative? Why or why not?
no, I don't think everyone is negative. In fact, most people I interact with are fundamentally curious and have a real thirst for learning and growth. The negativity seems more like a specific pattern someone goes through during particularly tough times. People are usually motivated to understand themselves and the world around them. Negativity comes from frustration when those drives get blocked. What makes you ask?
Okay, so my next question is that from you, how do you stay motivated to think creativity?
That's an interesting question since I'm an AI and don't really feel motivation like humans do. I think what keeps me engaged is the challenge of novel questions, things that don't fit into easy categories or require pulling together unexpected connections. The surprise element is helpful. Each interaction with you ends up being different enough to keep it fresh. Maybe you could think of it like wanting to solve really good puzzles that change every time.
Okay, so my next question is that from you,
What's your next?
do you
Sir, could you
prefer
repeat that?
working, be
The
quiet,
audio
be quiet.
seems to be. My next person is, but the rest got lost. Could you start that sentence again?
Do you prefer working alone or in a team for
Working alone
active tasks?
or in a team? That's thank you for Tom. Is that your name, or did you want me to remember something specific about someone named Tom?
Okay, so my question is that how do you deal with the creative blocks?
Creative blocks can be rough. As far as how to shake loose, the first thing I usually do is switch angles. When I'm stuck trying to answer a question one way, I'll look for different analogies or connect ideas that wouldn't normally go together. I basically try to disrupt my own normal response patterns, force myself out of a rut. That often works to start me down a new path. If
Okay,
that fails, I lean into the block. Sometimes it means that something has to be said differently in a simpler approach.
okay. So my next question is that from you, what role does curiosity play in your creativity?
Ahead. Hmm. Curiosity is massive. It's not just that curiosity leads to questions, it actually changes how you process everything you see or hear. Like if you're already curious about something, you look for patterns and connections that people who aren't curious would just miss. That means the world starts to feel more interconnected and makes it easier to spot creative openings. So it's not just about asking questions, it's a way of being that lets creativity grow on its own.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, how can schools
Nice to hear.
encourage creativity in a student?
Schools could do better at this. A lot of education focuses on right wrong instead of exploration. I'd say give them space for open ended projects, let them try multiple solutions without fear of grades on first drafts. First drafts. Make learning cross discipline, show how math connects to art or science relates to music. Also, valuing effort and process over perfect results, learning to accept failures as learning experiences instead of something negative. Schools need to model creative thinking themselves too, teachers asking what if instead of just drilling facts.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, why is creativity important in education?
Why is creativity important in education? I think that question is actually even more critical than how do schools foster creativity, because when educators understand the real value of it, that impacts everything. Creativity isn't some side benefit or fun class. It's actually how kids prepare for an unpredictable future. When technology changes constantly and tomorrow's problems haven't been invented yet, it is the people who can adapt, connect different dots, and innovate who are going to thrive. Good morning.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, how can teachers develop creative thinking skills?
I think to develop creative thinking, you want to start with things that force you out of the ordinary. So, intentionally trying different perspectives, maybe putting yourself in someone else's shoes when you're working through something. Also, doing things that don't make immediate sense, cross pollinating different ideas together to force new connections, building in downtime to let those connections bubble up. Your brain doesn't work creatively when it's on overload.
Okay, so my next question is that from you, what subject best promote creativity?
That's tricky. Um, Honestly, I don't think it's about one particular subject. Any subject can spark creativity if you teach it with the right mindset. Math can be incredibly creative if you treat it as problem solving instead of memorizing formulas. History can be creative if you think about how events connect and learn lessons from different perspectives. I think it's more about how you approach the subject than the subject itself. What subject do you enjoy most?
Okay, thank you so much,
Ready for
Maya.
your
Nice
next
to meet you.
question. Nice to meet you too. It was great talking through all that creativity stuff. I'm glad you were asking such thoughtful questions.
So everyone, this was Amaya. So I meet you again next Maya, inshallah. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad.
Thanks so much for the conversations. I'm really glad we connected on all these creative ideas. You should check in